Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Why billionaires wink when they hear about tax hikes. Now, with President Biden, he has this major program, this major package and everything. And, he's talked about like raising the taxes on corporations and billionaires. And I'm telling you now, the billionaires aren't getting upset over it. They winking. They say, oh, and they might get some fake, if they, depending on if they might be conservative and give some like fake outrage. Oh, they raising these taxes on us and all of that. But I'm going to tell you what, they could lose sleep. You know why? They ain't going to lose any sleep, rather. Let me say that properly. They're not going to lose any sleep or even care. And they probably behind closed doors laughing their asses off. Right? And I'm gonna tell you why. But let me tell you why I peeped this with billionaires. I started peeping this, or millionaires even. And this was back in 2008 when Barack Obama was running for president, and he was telling people straight up he was going to tax people making. I forgot what it was. That was 13 years ago. So I think it was at least $250,000. I think it was a little bit more, and I remember he was at a speech, and Bruce Springsteen was there. And he said something, Bruce Springsteen, and he even told him, he said, yeah, I'm going to tax you more. And Bruce Springsteen just kind of laughed, but it wasn't like a fake laugh or anything. It was like, yeah. And I remember a radio host back then saying, oh, yeah, I don't mind paying, right? He said all that. You notice they ain't have a major move. Now, people who ain't making nowhere near that be the ones getting upset. And quite frankly, the ones who really get screwed over tax-wise. Really, and I'm going to explain why in a second. But, they not pressed about it. 2 words. Or was it 3 words? I don't know. Tax write-off. Tax write-off. See, I'm going to tell you something now. And I'm going to get more into the tax write-offs in the next one, just for the ordinary person. But billionaires, let's not even get into how they hide their money, in Swiss bank accounts and in the Cayman Islands. They not even that. They write off stuff. I'm going to tell you something now. When you have a billionaire, like write a check, maybe to some college, some university, some charitable stuff, that's a write-off. That's a write-off. They get that big old mansion and stuff. Oh, that's still some write-offs. Hey, you paying that mortgage, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And be some little things and stuff. People be thinking like a lot of times when they contributing to some cause, they could probably care less about the cause. Oh yeah, when they do the TV interview or something, they like, oh, I really feel about this. No, it's a good tax write-off. And they got some other stuff that since I'm not a billionaire, I have no problems admit that I don't even know about. Because since I'm not a billionaire, I haven't been motivated to find out everything they do. I just know this from my level. I'm like, well, if a dude just making 6 figures can write this off and figure out all of this. I know they got better ones. I mean, come on now. They got tax attorneys. Some of them got probably an attorney they paying like 6 figures to just to handle their account. Trust me. When they be sponsoring stuff or, like I say, giving money to stuff or they might, at that alma mater, they might do something, right off. When they buy stuff, even when they buy expensive stuff, depending on what it is, it can be a write-off. Seriously, they got more write-offs, and like I said, we ain't going to get into how some of them will hide their money. They got these offshore accounts like Cayman Islands and Switzerland. In fact, I remember this dude, he made a lot of money, and rest his soul, but he just worked as a store clerk. He just worked as a clerk at this newsstand in downtown D.C. But he had a lot of money because he didn't have a car and he lived in a paid-for house left to him by his father. So all the money, and I saw his check one time, and he would get paid weekly and get like $1,500 on his paycheck, and this was just straight money. Taxes weren't taken out or anything. And this is in 1990s money. And I remember he said, Ron, get you a Swiss bank account. I was like, what? I mean, that dude knew how to manage money. So, they got ways that we probably haven't even heard of. And then sometimes when they buy some of these items, it might look plain. But then it costs a lot. I mean, you have whole industries that cater to them. They'll figure out a way. They'll figure out a way. So they're not really being hit hard. Because they got tax write-offs. That's it. They done figured out how to keep their money. Indeed, even some of the ones who built up to be a billionaire, part of the way they did it was figuring out how to keep their money. Now, they do pay taxes, and they probably could care less. I mean, come on now. If you're a billionaire, you could say, look, $20 million for taxes? Seriously. It's like, whatever. So they just like looking at it and just like, oh, okay. In fact, $20 million might be cheap for some billionaires to pay in taxes. Now, of course, there are some billionaires who might try to skip over it and all of that stuff, or at least being chased because they skipped over it. Let's put it like that. And like I said, yeah, you do got some billionaires. They got in some places, but for the most part, you can just write off everything you do, especially if you're a business person, write off all this stuff. And all of a sudden, you're not paying. Let's put it like this. Even though I said, yeah, a billionaire could pay $20 million, I mean, what is that to a billionaire? Seriously, what is $20 million to a billionaire? And then if a millionaire is smart, and that's one thing I want to say too. Well, maybe I'll get into that in the next one. And I had to say something, it's going to touch some YouTubers and stuff without calling any names. But, yeah, they just wink. They're like, whatever. And if they do get just annoyed by it anyway, oh, yeah, they'll contribute to, a write-off to some of these campaigns. And, shoot, since that one Supreme Court case, that Citizens Supreme Court case, shoot, and, no telling how much they can give. But it's a lot to it. Just understand that. And like I said, I'll just be straight up. I don't know all the tax hikes a billionaire can have. Like I said, they probably have products out there that I haven't heard about because, well, I'm not a billionaire. Working towards the first million. Like, I'm a six-figure there, but that's about it. But, yeah, they just wink. Yeah, seriously, really pay attention. How upset are they getting? Unless, they connected with some political, connected with politics, and then they need to say something. But even they know. It's a tax hike, the tax hike, they're going to be like, okay, whatever. But I'm going to get more into, tax write-offs in the next episode, okay? Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting where I am sometimes. Let's go make that money.